how would you define critical race theory?
So critical race theory is a two-part scenario. The first part is this idea that almost from the inception of the American landscape, both the social, the cultural, as well as the political and legal landscape, had a process, policy, or practice in place that discriminated in some way against specifically African descended peoples, but people of color of all sorts. And over time, that coalesced into a clear system of laws and practices that continued and continues to discriminate against African Americans and generally people of African descent, because it is baked into the system itself, into the legal structure, into the way in which people perceive other individuals, in practices, as well as into our society. A very good example is redlining, how redlining impacted and continues to impact many African Americans who still live within those spaces that were redlined. In fact, the book by Rothstein, In the Matter of Color, let me pause for a minute. It wasn't In the Matter of Color. It had to do with color, but he was talking about how African American communities that were located in those redlined areas continued to be taxed at a higher rate. And yet they cannot sell their properties anywhere near the amount of money that the cities and the counties tax them. And so there continues to be a disproportionate burden placed on African Americans. There's a lot of data out there that African American families and African American women are disproportionately taxed. And when you go back to the 1642 Virginia law that actually taxed free Black women, but did not tax free white women, and then came back a year later and said this law only applies to Black women. That's an example of how Black families were double taxed, those who were free. And so critical race theory looks at this history. They look at the law, they look at court cases, and they've come up with this particular perspective. Now, the second part of critical race theory is that once you understand this, then there's a specific way that attorneys, because critical race theory was developed for law schools and for law students. Once you understand this, then you understand how the law has baked in certain inequalities. And sometimes the language may not be racialized, but the intent is. And it's part of a system that, even though it may have been 150, 200, 300 or more years ago, the system still discriminates against African Americans because the system emerged discriminating against African Americans. So people are still just practicing or continuing a practice that was discriminatory, but has lost its understanding that it was discriminatory. But it continues to be. And so teaching law students to understand this and to understand how do you dismantle a system if you don't understand how the system emerged, if you don't understand this understanding of the law and of court cases and judgment. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand how to win your case. You don't understand how to dismantle these inequalities. So that's critical race theory. Now, how critical race theory became something completely different based on how many conservatives are using it is a political strategy put in place by some on the right who want to raise that sort of boogeyman flag of, Black people are trying to say something negative about white people or white society. That's a concoction and a political strategy, as opposed to looking at exactly what is critical race theory.
It became such a divisive topic during the elections, and how it wasn't, they don't want to teach it in schools, but it's funny because, it's, at this point, you're saying it's a law student law topic, and they didn't want it taught in grammar schools. And I think it makes no sense why it was even a topic to begin with if it's like a higher educational item of discussion. Do why it blew up specifically during the elections?
Taking critical race theory and making it into what has become a political football was a political strategy on the right. Most people don't know what critical race theory is, and they don't care to know what critical race theory is. It is just a phrase used to do several things. One of those things that it is designed to do is to generate concern, anger, and fear among the white population that Black people are trying to take something from them that they don't deserve, or they're trying to make them feel bad about the past and extract something as a result of that. That is a old strategy and technique that has been used for decades. In fact, that notion actually emerged near the end of the Civil War. And a lot of people don't realize that it had its origins back that. And even beyond that, when people were talking about ending slavery. And this is in what they call the antebellum period, that period of the first part of the 19th century, when you saw the emergence of abolitionists and a very grassroots effort, and especially among white people. This was something that many Black people were a part of and helped to start. But when white people got into it, it became a tremendous threat to society. And so this idea that, that abolitionists were trying to destroy America, that abolitionists were trying to extract something from good white people, to make them feel bad about what they were doing, et cetera, et cetera. Those were the arguments of those against abolitionism in the 19th century. And we would continue to see that following the end of slavery, and of course the passage of the 14th and 15th Amendments. We would continue to see these same arguments whenever there was an opportunity to open up society to become a much more equitable society and to get closer to the aspirational ideals of America, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. So those are the aspirational ideals of America, but the reality is very different in how we have applied those ideals and to whom we've applied those ideals. And so it started around the time that President Barack Obama was president, this fear, this tremendous fear that now we have a society that is different, that has changed itself somehow, that it has allowed a Black man to be in the Oval Office. And this is an example of how America is changing to the point that all of our ideals are being destroyed. So these were the positions of those on the extreme right, and those ideas of the extreme right then they were looking for one word or a phrase around which they could rally people. And they tried with the Black Lives Matter, they tried with Antifa, but they landed squarely with the idea of critical race theory because there was an effort nationally to change the standards of learning to be more inclusive, to be more accurate. I remember when the standards of learning in Virginia included 4 questions on the test about Betsy Ross, all of which were not historically accurate. And so here we have, this effort. This is not an effort to indoctrinate people. This is an effort to make sure that young people were taught history, not mythology. And I think it's important for us to understand the difference between history and mythology. And a lot of the stories, or all the stories you've heard of Betsy Ross, were mythology. And so there was an effort to change the standards of learning in a number of states. And that's when this whole idea of critical race theory took hold among the far right. And they began to use that as a way of saying that these school systems are teaching children to hate. They're teaching white children to hate themselves. They're teaching all of America's children to hate our institutions, to hate the founding fathers, and all of the ideals of America are being destroyed because of critical race theory. And there was also a reaction to talking about the institution of slavery, and more importantly, the ways in which we enslaved people and dehumanized them and commoditized them and engaged in human trafficking for over 250 years. And people didn't like that language, and they didn't want to hear that because they've been brought up on America's mythology, not American history.
Now, because I will need to kind of condense this,
scrunch it down.
How would you explain to me, like if I was a 3rd grader, no, let's say kindergarten, so that I can be able to convey that message to the public here and the viewers, how would you define critical race theory in a little
very simplistic terms?
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Critical race theory was created by legal scholars looking at American history and the American legal system. And in looking at that, they said that almost from the beginning, our legal system and our social system discriminated against people of African descent. And what they wanted lawyers to do and law school students to do is to understand this process, to understand this history, so that when they are defending people in court, when they are litigating cases, they understand the language that was used that really was about discrimination without those words, those actual words being used.